Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be casting Merciless versus Lucky Strikes Marauders today. We're going to be getting into it pretty shortly. Map is going to be flipping about 9 minutes. I have a special co-caster today. Why don't you introduce yourself? Just say who you are and what team you play for and things like that.
Stealthy from 3AC. Uh, yeah, that's about it.
There you go. Yeah, so it's my boy Stealthy. He's in Division 2. This week they play Ronin, that's correct, right?
Yeah, we play Ronin tomorrow.
And you guys are playing on what, SME?
Hargan Forest, and we are
Oh,
US.
that is right. That'll be a good map. That'll be a good match. Pretty excited for that. So today, over here on the right, you can see we're going to be playing, or this is Merc and Lucky Strikes in Division 3. This is going to be a really tough match, I think, for Lucky Strikes Merc. I think I have them winning. What about you? What about you, Stealthy? Where are you putting the winner today?
Uh, Man, this is a hard map. We played Merc on this map, and they were allies, and they had Brick Factory, and they know some of those cheese spots at the factory. But I did hear that I think that they actually closed some of those MG spots up there on the factory or in any factory in the game. I don't know if that's true or not, but I did hear that being talked about. So I don't know. I think these points are very ally sided. Um, I don't know the new Merc roster, and we've Racy's played against Lucky's and Mikey's. So part of me, because I don't know what Merc has right now, wants to give it to Lucky's. However, the map is still favored, in my opinion, for Merc. So I think it's either a 3-2 or a 4-1, but I think it would be Lucky's on my side of it. But I think it's close the whole game, and that's what I got it at. I just
Yeah,
think if they use the MGs correctly and the tanks on the German side, it's yeah, I don't know. I think they have more firepower with them.
it is going to be really interesting. I mean, the map is going to be trio. I don't have a strat sketch or anything to show you guys today. Normally, I have some sort of overlay. Didn't have enough time to find one, but I mean, that's a map that you never see too. I feel like it's so off meta. It's just, it's a wild pick. It's out there for sure. I know both teams have been stratting this week, so hopefully it's a good 3-2 win. Not really. I know I predicted Lucky Strikes Marauders earlier in the week, 5-0ing Merc. Hopefully it's not that. Hopefully I do eat my words a little bit, but hopefully it's a good match. And then other than that, we saw Syndicate play Glow TL. I believe they won. Wasn't able to get the tail end of the stream. Last I saw, they were up 4-1. I don't think there's been any other matches today. We have Broken Arrow, Three Foys, and 10th Mountain all have a bye. So overall, starting off the APL week pretty strong. If you haven't seen Syndicate Glow TL, it was streamed by Das Alberg and Gadarian on YouTube, Das Alberg on Twitch, and obviously I am on Twitch as well. But yeah, we'll kind of jump into things. Is there any midpoint that you specifically want to see? I know we talked about this a little bit before stream, but
I want the bridge.
yeah,
I want to see like for me, I hate midpoints, just like straight in the middle of the map because it causes a whole bunch of flanks and ways to play around it. So it just means there's more to the game. But I like midpoints. I think it's gonna be a better fight than it would be for one of the other points, especially on this map. So I would like to see who gets across first, as far as in the flanks and taking the brick factory. Uh, I don't know what this point is called over here. Actually, on the Brit side, their other point, but taking one of those points and making that flank happen. So I think the brick factory to me is gonna be the most fun to see because I feel like it's gonna be the less campy out of the two.
yeah. I think, man, I don't know where I sit. I mean, I've played this map in the PBE, and then once it was, well, maybe not PBE, maybe when it was released. I don't even remember if they did PBE for this map, but I've only played it like three or four times. I know the map itself reasonably well, but I don't know enough to speak on it competitively. I think looking at the map itself, at least for a little bit, you have Brick Factory on the left, you get that bridge, and then you got that whatever that right point is. That right point, I think, is going to be one of my favorites because when it came out, we played. I want to say it was MERC. We played them back to back, one on both sides as BA, and it was a pretty quick map, but it was a lot of fun on that right side. Man, could have even been Lucky Strikes for all I know. But overall, I mean, it's a fun map. I'll say that. I don't know how even it is, but it's fun. Getting into this, we'll take a look at the rosters a little bit. I mean, I only have Lucky Strikes Marauders as we're still waiting for MERC to fill in, but looks like we got some important names on the list. You got Large Mouse playing. You got Yeet Queen. Let me know if you recognize any of these. Slick
Rupert's.
Rooster.
Rupert's, I feel. It's been around with Mikey's for a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and here we have MERC joining up. I will switch my team because I'm on the wrong side. And then we'll kind of just get into this and start showing off a little bit. As a lot of us haven't seen this map or haven't really seen it played in comp.
Now, do you like the differences of maps and comp instead of the same SME, SMDM, Carrington?
I mean, yeah, when I played, I was always a tanker, and believe it or not, some of my favorite tanking maps are Hill 400 and Hurricane. I think in those maps, it's less about just knowing the meta and just knowing how to be a good tanker and work in serious pressure. I mean, Hill 400, absolutely. That is one of my most fun maps. It's tough, but I'm definitely an off meta guy. Throw me in some shitty situation, let me figure it out with my crew, and I'm gonna have a blast. I don't want to have a boring hedge fight over 500 meters for 90 minutes. I want to be in this shit basically. How about you?
Man, I like meta, to be honest. I don't, we haven't had much practice on any of the Russian maps. We played some of them, but we're not good enough to get on them with current strats, just because we haven't gotten over them. So I don't want to say we're good on these maps, because a lot of these take time and scrims. So most of our scrims have been on the meta maps: Carrington, SMDM, SME, Utah, the meta maps. I think it'd be cool to do a non-meta map, and I really like Kharkov. I don't know, but Kharkov is a cool map to me. It's a bunch of openings, but I think it's a fun one to play on.
Yeah, I don't. Kharkov's not bad. I played my last comp match I played was against Greyhounds on that, and I honestly had a blast.
I was there for that. I remember that one.
I know everybody else didn't have a blast. I was solo tanking, and my job was to just hit basically bombs from across the map. Didn't really do so amazing. I don't think really anybody did, as it was Greyhounds, but we had, or at least I had some fun. Kharkov's not a bad map. I like Remagen. I think Remagen, I mean, the problem is midpoint's not being balanced at all, but outside of that, I like the idea of one side having tons of elevation and the others just being absolutely flat. And I think you look at Remagen, 9 times out of 10 allies, even though you're on flat ground, you have great sight lines to just tank snipe.
I would not play that map personally because of how coin flip it can be. Who was it that coin flipped it in seasonals? There was a team that coin flipped it and hoped it was on their side. Was it somebody was playing Refuse IR? I think that was at the end of it. I think IR ended up winning.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who they played.
Chinese teams. I don't think it was Refuse. But it was impressive. I mean, Remagen's an interesting match too.
I like though, for me, kind of like you, I like Hill 400, but I'm not a tanker, so like I like that map. Um, the game before I started playing with BA, y'all played, was it Alpha on Hill 400?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't
And
play
then
that much.
I learned a strat from that map where the Greyhound was sitting, not the Greyhound, the, well, I forgot what side it was. The recon tank was playing in one of the HQs and was pounding the hit was pounding Hill
Yeah, yeah. You
from
get
their
great
HQ,
sight lines. Yep.
and I thought that was just disgusting. So there's a lot of cool things you can do in this game. It takes a lot of admin camming and finding all these things, but there's a lot. And so that's why I think like maps like this that aren't meta, like it, I don't think it doesn't matters the division. You can find things you don't know because no one plays these maps.
It's very interesting. I'm just going over the bridge right now in admin cam, and it's quite amazing the ambient sounds. I know somebody was talking about MGs earlier this week and how the whizzing sounds a little different. I wouldn't be surprised if, jeez, the shot goes out. I wouldn't be surprised if that, if, jeez, what am I saying? I'm getting so distracted.
So
Um,
ambient sounds.
yeah, yeah, ambient sounds, man. I feel like they've done a ton of work on them, and the maps are just sounding a lot better. I mean, being over this bridge right now and hearing the bridge creak and just hearing kind of like the eeriness has really added to this game. I mean, especially with lights too.
I wonder if if they have changed things in these maps and because like on like for drill for example, sound wise, and you wouldn't know because no one plays these maps anymore, even really in pubs. I wonder if things change here for these two. But I think Hell Loose has done like a pretty good job as far as audios for a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, definitely have to give it to the devs. I feel like they do a lot more updates than we're made aware of, but I feel like that also comes and bites the comp side of things in the ass when we're not told about it. Let's see if we can figure out when map flip is.
It looks like Merp. Merc is all in here. So probably here in a second.
Alrighty. I just shot a few Discord messages. We should be looking to flip pretty soon. Uh, you see any names on the Merc side of things that ring a bell?
Let's see. Gold
Gold Star,
Star,
yeah.
Compton. And don't see
Jesus Uncut.
Valkyrie. Yeah, Jesus Uncut. I don't see Valkyrie. That's one person I've seen over there a lot, pretty often. But everyone else I don't really know of, I don't think. Lone Star, I think I've seen him a few
Yeah,
times.
Lone Star. Fox too. I feel like Fox used to be a lead over at Merc. Maybe still is. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I feel like normally I'd have so much more to say, but given that I know so little about this map, I mean, we'll look at the layout for right now. We got Field, South Railway, Brick, Boatyard, and Rossander Polder.
The thing that sucks from Brick, if you don't cap Brick and you're Germany, now and your boatyard's in your next point, it's gonna take a long time to get a front door going to get across this river. So everything's gonna rely on flanks for this map if you have Boatyard and Brick. Because all you have to do is hold MGs back here, or hold one tank back here, and they're just going to pound you trying to cross the river.
Yeah, it is a night map, though, so I will give it to them. There might be a little bit more cover to kind of front door push it, but there is a lot of river, as we're seeing right now.
Oh, this might be a good match. This might have been a 3-2. I might be wrong on the 4-1. This could just be a straight 3-2 map, to be honest. But I don't know much about MERC infantry. I know Lucky's, and I think a few months ago, they were giving us a fight pretty well as far as what they do. And Lucky, when we played them, was very heavy on flanks. So that could be good for them as far as this map, depending on where MERC decides to put their people.
Yeah. Ooh, it looks like we have map flip. Yeah, something I feel like I've casted 90% of Lucky's matches purely by chance now. They are improving, and I talk a lot with Slick about this and about his track of improvement. They're very aware of where they fit in right now, and I think that's really important for success and longevity, is understanding what your weaknesses are and understanding what your strengths are. I mean, if you as a team lead, I mean, I'm sure you know just as well, but sitting down and saying like, okay, what do we suck at, and how do we plan to not let that affect us in a comp match, is so vital. And I think Lucky Strikes and Marauders have both sat down and really ironed that out, at least from my perspective.
Well, to me, that was such a weird, like, what do you call them, co-ops? Co-ops, I guess? Like, I didn't see those two being a thing, just because I would never think about those two groups playing together.
Yeah, no, it is
I didn't know
very
anything about them.
interesting. All right, we do have map flip, and look at this midpoint. Are you happy?
Oh, this is the one thing that I like about this too, is both fourth points are on the same side of the river. So I feel like there is going to be a lot of front dooring here because of that too, because you want to control your point side. So I feel like I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to see wide Garys, real wide Garys for flank squads, and then I want to see the front door because I run front door SL and I like being in the meat grind.
Dude, I think this is one of the best layouts that I've seen in a minute. I think it's super balanced for both sides. I mean, maybe Lucky Strikes have a slightly harder time because they just have to deal with the walk between Middle Road and Farm. But even MERC, I mean, both sides super even. All right, well, let's get into this. I mean, looking at the map, seeing a PZ4, seeing a Lux off the rip. It's kind of what I'm working with for tanks. What are you seeing so far?
I'm getting in now. I had to mute everybody. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear comms. I just want to watch the map. All right. I'm going across. All right. Let's see. Well, looks like they're splitting bridge, 2 transports. They got the P. Man, I'm not good with the British tanks. Their mediums rolling up mid on the railway.
Don't worry,
I don't know
dude.
the names of them.
Yeah, I haven't played enough to even know either.
The one thing about the Brit heavy tank, I think the P4 pins them, and that's the downfall of the heavy, is a P4 can pin it.
Oh, interesting. I also know that they got reworked, I believe, because they were originally amazingly bad off launch. I still wonder, I mean, does the British heavy still not have a machine gun or a coax?
I do not know that. I didn't even know it didn't have one.
Yeah, one of the British tanks doesn't have like a driver gun or something like that. I want to say it's the British heavy. You can stand in front as a Axis infantry player and still be just fine. They would have to run you over.
I am only seeing
Ooh, so
2
armor.
tanks.
Yeah, it looks like Lucky's rolling out the double Lux strat with the P4 down the middle. And then they have a transport truck on either side of the bridge and one on the bridge. With a supply truck flanking on far right.
We got 1 squad going to Brick Factory for MERC, and then we have, I think they're sending everything 10 and 15 to hard cap right now with the tank.
10 to 15. I just think of Artie, man. 10 to 15 in the point.
Yeah, I think that could not bad. Is there anybody from Lucky's coming across the bridge?
Oh yeah, we got one truck, a bunch of SLs, and people already jumping out a bit early, which I think is smart. Lux lighting up.
That hit the transport truck and it killed. Oh, that's it. That took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 people off Merc's main push.
That's huge.
That Lex got 4.
I see everybody dismounting off this other truck. They might be in trouble. As this other Lux is coming in right now.
Oh, and that strafe got 1, 2. I think the strafe got 2.
Zooming out, looks like a transport truck goes down for Lucky, but they still have both Luxes up. As one Lux is going right around what I'm assuming is the Cromwell. I don't know these names either. Oh. Oh my god, Artie just took out so many people.
Looks like this. Oh, there's the light tank. They did roll mark. It is over by Brick Factory in the small shit. And it's just pounding bridge currently.
Yeah, and we see the medium take out one of the Luxes, but the other Lux as well as a transport truck are both behind MERC.
Is that Merc's Gary at the barn? No, it is not here.
See Jesus cut, uncut, pushing up the side. As this 70, or not 75, I'll call it a 75 though, is pushing down mid.
Looks like we have 2 SLs from Merc sitting at Brick. Just holding for now. They haven't crossed the river yet.
MERC is starting to cap. Oh jeez, what am I doing? Let's get the scoreboard going. Man, as artillery and armor is just
Oh, that Lux is
lighting
coming
these
up
people
behind.
I don't know if this Lux knows where this tank is. Might just be ignoring it as a whole.
Maybe it's just it's a 2-man, so maybe they're just going for OPs.
It could be. What does MERC's 4th point look like? Does anybody is anybody there on the railroad?
They have Compton. Compton's just standing on point, and you got 1 SL fairly close, and then 1 other infantry guy. Just 3 over there, but nothing from Lucky's.
I don't know if you have enough time to come look at this, but there's a Lux versus Stewart fight.
On the beach?
Yeah, it's just...
I'm watching. Oh, it just got hit. Where is that other tank at?
Oh, the Lux goes down. At
that barn.
And the Lux saves. Saves the light tank.
Where is the medium? Where's the P4 for the German?
Should be far back on the bridge, yeah.
see it. He started his cannon now. Let's see if he gets this light tank.
Rocket sailing right over this light tank.
Oh, you got spears on 4th point now. A 1v1.
It might be too little too late, as Marauders have pretty slowly not touched this bridge.
This is the hard thing. They need to get a foothold on at least one of these sides of this bridge.
These two tanks have been playing so passively. We do see a Tiger come online though.
Trying to see if they brought their heavy out. I'm not seeing them bring the heavy yet.
Their Lucky Strike's heavy is in Delta 4 right now. Not doing too much.
Let's hope they reset OPs here.
Oh, looks like that P4 gets one. Oh, in the
Gets them.
yeah, beautiful work. Oh, Lucky Strike's losing their 4th point already. As it appears to be a tank in the distance. Where's that? A supply truck. Decent spread from Marauders. Decent spread from MERC as well.
I think right here, MERC is going to start filling. Watch me get another SL across. They had one across from Brick.
Oh, bombing
I wonder
run.
if they're going to start filling. I just realized I was not on the MERC side. This whole time I was seeing the same map as you. Hold on, I'm gonna swap.
Yeah, contest goes out. That was a huge bombing run. So I want to see that P4 start to push, especially now that you have that Tiger on the field. Oh, as a reverse bombing run comes out. Clearing a bit, but not all. Supplies coming down for, I believe that's allies? Yeah. Still learning my British maps.
Alright, there we go. Now on the right map. MERC actually already has a Gary in H3. Keypad 9, so top right corner edge of map.
Oh, interesting.
For the 4th point. And they have their garrison pinged. MERC pinged the Lucky's Gary. And they have 3 SLs right now. Cross.
There is so many people from MERC on this underside.
Confused on how they got there though, because it looked like Lucky's had a spread. I don't remember seeing whammo.
Yeah. Looks like Merc is just slowly funneling up this far right side almost. It's a very light push too. Seems like they really want the 3-2.
There's a light tank across 2 and E3.
Oh, Cap's
For
starting to go
Merc.
the way as the P4 has pushed into the hard cap. This is huge. This is what I love to see. You know, you get a kill, you have the tank advantage. Push that bad boy up. And now they get to just live rent free.
Nothing's contest. They don't really have anything. No AT on it to contest this tank either.
Yeah, I mean the blueberries are at the bottom, but that's what you have artillery for. You can't be bunched up like that.
They have a solo heavy tank under the bridge. Merc does.
Under the bridge?
Yeah, and there's a bridge opening in F7. So down that hill, but it's a solo.
Oh, I am seeing that.
Unless he's picking up his guys at the Gary? I don't know.
That is very interesting.
Hey, he's just chilling right now. And Merc has a recon tank pushing up towards Banks right now.
Contest is on the middle point right now. I mean, you're just seeing Merc funnel and funnel as explosions going all around. But LSM, they were able to get a foothold under the bridge, which is going to be huge. I mean, it's going to be a grind for sure. You see Mayo able to pick up Cash Cow.
Well, Merc also has about a fourth left of reinforced to go. Because they threw reinforced down. Yeah. So they only have about a fourth left.
Oh,
so we'll see what happens after.
Wormloid's got on the garrison too. There you go.
Their garrison on point is down. So you have
but the P4
one
goes
Gary
down.
at brick.
Overall, LSM may not be capping, but they sure have the advantage here. I mean, no garrison on the point. They may have lost their P4, but they do still have that heavy up. And looks like they're spawning another heavy too.
Merc also lost their Gary up in H3, so their attack should be slowing down. They still have one OP on it and one recon tank over at Banks.
Also, I'm hearing from the sideline, Dr. 903 is telling me to tell you to use your manly voice, so...
You want to hear me talk like this, 9-0?
Merc putting some pressure on the fourth point. Looks like Merc also has an AT gun up, which is pretty interesting. I like it. I think that's the move. But Melkor is just farming people over here.
Looks like they've cleared Merc out of their backlines now. But there is a light tank coming up behind bridge on Lucky side. Underneath, my bad, he's underneath the bridge.
Take a look at the map so far. We see tank pings onto ruined banks, some infantry pings, as well as enemy garrison marks. Looks like that's all been called out. We do see two heavies pushing together on this bridge. Satchel just went out on the midpoint. So we're taking a look. Contest on both points. Evenly matched. Cap starting to go out the way of Lucky Strikes onto mid. Has Merc rebuilt their garrison on
On
bridge at all?
point, yes. It is right back under. It's in this ditch right next to bridge on the west side
Gotcha.
in the grass.
I'm curious to see this heavy push, as it looks like one heavy is going towards ruin, and the other might have died. I'm not really sure what happened to the other heavy. I tuned out. I must have missed a tank battle.
There's one heavy still beside the bridge, and a full crew is getting in now.
Yeah, we do see the Tiger pushing to support ruin. I like the passive plays. I think it's smart. We do see Velvet Hammer chasing down Trang. Able to pick him up. Everybody seems to be sniffed out. We'll go back to midpoint, take a quick look. I mean, once again, man, I am curious. Let's take a look. Gold Star and who is this? Oh, I have to tab out to even try and see this. Maybe I'll pull it up over here. G-Man 87 and Two Broke are both tied for the most amount of kills right now.
Two Broke is, I think that's our artillery. Yeah, it's artillery. Two Broke's already.
Interesting. Who is G-Man 87? Is that might be
G-Man 87?
Artillery for Lucky Strikes. Let me go back and look. Oh, where am I going? Yeah, so it is the two arty players. Oh, a little bit of whiplash, and we're back. Have you been seeing Lucky Strikes jump off this bridge as of late?
No, what? They're jumping off the bridge?
It's really wicked. They will send guys about 75% of the way through the bridge. They'll jump off. It's got to be pre-stratted. They jump off at about the height where they land in the water, but their head is just about out of water, so they're not drowning. And then they bandage with their head barely peeking out, and then they storm. They storm the bottom part.
I've not seen that.
Qnix has been leading that charge. It's quite the look.
Still looks like MERC has a really good spread, but it also looks like they're about to get a small push going from Lucky's on this east side. And that bombing run did not get much.
You know, I think it was kind of a cover. There's a call for an airhead. I have no idea if they see it.
Oh, I see it now. It looks like there's a sniper underneath it, but I don't think he notices. That airhead's gonna drop right behind him. Oh, wait, does he notice?
He might just stumble upon. Well,
Does he know?
Oh my
Does he turn?
God! He doesn't know.
He doesn't-
Oh my!
Oh my! Oh. I thought they were
He's
gonna let the
looking
tank get
around.
it.
He has no idea.
He
The call
didn't
went
see it.
out. The call went out. They know. Okay, it finally
They got
taken
it now.
out. Oh, poor Owens, man.
I don't see much going on really from Lucky's on this east. I think that's the one thing I'd like to see more is put MGs up here and start spraying and try to cross because right now your only cross is the bridge that you control. You have to either break through the east or break through the west, and I mean the east is point side, so kind of surprised they're not using anything to kind of like bring a tank over, even if it's like a solo recon to help
Yeah,
pressure.
that's definitely a good point. I think the bridge can be really misleading because it's so big and appealing. But at the end of the day, all you got to do is have your defense walk across this river uh, on the east side and just funnel people through. Oh, geez. Thanks, you Das Alberg. My stream title's completely wrong. Great. We're not gonna know. I'm not gonna be able to edit that until 30 minutes. Dashboard. Stream manager. APL week 2. My apologies.
Slick is a solo spotter crossing this river on the west. Oh, but they do have Gator across too. It looks like Gator's about to get collapsed on by 3 people.
Yeah, I see Gator in the distance, making his way across. He's able to pick up one. Reaver crawling towards him.
One thing I'm seeing, and at least from Lucky's side, is they only have 2 MGs. And I get like nobody wants to play them because sometimes you just post up, get head tapped, and you know, it happens. But once you get into a decent spot, even if you're not killing anything, you can suppress a whole area. And I feel like that's just needed more on German side. You have the MG42 comparing to their MGs.
Oh, Gator places down an OP, instantly gets burned by Reaver. You should know somebody's here. We'll see if any developments have happened as Midpoint seems to be in control. Looks like they have 2 heavies.
Looks like Large Mouse and Melkort and Slick did get across to the west on Brick Factory.
Are you seeing this Jeep bomb it through the river?
Who's in that? Let me see who's in the Jeep.
MERC. Compton.
There's supplies? I don't even see supplies across.
Oh, the Jeep gets dusted. Can't handle the water.
Don't know what he was doing with that because I don't see any supplies over. I think he was just trying to send it and drop supplies on himself later on, maybe. I don't know. And the spotter doesn't even see him. He just runs right past the spotter.
Very interesting. I mean, we are seeing a little bit of smoke now on the bridge. As
And Merc ran past an OP. Does this guy Merc ran past their OP, or not Merc? Compton ran past his OP. Ah, he has the Gary though. And Compton takes out their Gary. All right, I gotta head out. I got a 35 to do.
yeah, man,
But
head
it
out.
was fun. It was fun for the first little bit of it.
Enjoy your match, brother.
I will. Thank you for having me.
Likewise. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, Stealthy is out of here. So we see Wax Skellington push across this bridge once again. Gets taken out by, I believe that was either Jake or Wicked Eye. Once again, not too much happening on this hard cap. I will swing back. We are seeing a little bit of push onto Brick House. Wide out. They're getting creative. I like this. Able to catch them off guard. We got Spears as commander. So we zoom out. We do see a little bit of a push coming from LSM onto the point. Interestingly enough, looks to be that the armor is engaged. This P4 is playing it nice and safe, but we do have a bombing run. I believe that's a MERC bombing run. It is. Picking up only 1 or 2 people. As Wax Skellington once again shift viewing forward. This man has been a trooper on the bridge. We've seen a lot of heavy tanks come out too. We do get a commander pin. As a few make it across. A few go down. Large Mouse able to make it into Brick Factory. Large Mouse takes down 1. He hears Jesus uncut. Jesus starts to rotate, gets absolutely clobbered. As Large Mouse will be vital for pushing this south side. Sorry, west side. We'll take a look at LSM's 4th point real quick as we take a quick peek at the middle. Middle seems to be primarily held by MERC. We do see a heavy. We see recon. But most importantly, no MERC presence onto Ruined Banks. Pretty interesting. Outside of this recon, nobody. With just under 30 minutes, I'd expect a little bit more action on somebody's 4th point. We do see a huge wave onto this bridge. And what is this? We'll go back over to Large Mouse. Large Mouse able to take out 1. Garrison gets called out. Jesus uncut once again. Looking for Large Mouse. Oh, as Jesus is able to take him out. We'll go take a peek. See if there's a Garrison in here. No Garrison to be spotted. Alrighty. What's up, Glow? What's up, Das? What's up, Fig? We even got Murray. All the boys in the chat. What's up, guys? Casting a pretty interesting match, pretty tight map. It's currently 3-2. MERC is in the lead. Drill, of course, what a map. Recon does go out for LSM. They do throw an airhead on top of this building with a slight bombing run. Pretty well timed. Looks like it's going to be up to Large Mouse to protect this airhead. Oh boy. With the dead of night, this airhead might go down untouched. Although Adam seeming to be chasing it down. Oh, Adam gets hit with the strafe. Nice. Nice work. beautiful work, but we got Lex Superior hunting it down. Airhead is good and live. Does Lex know? Lex does not know. Lex has no idea. Big spawn wave. We also see smoke on the bridge as everybody starts to disperse. MERC could be in trouble here. It's all about gaining ground. Now I'm curious who is launching these smokes. I almost want to say it's LSM. Smoking and confusing MERC. Not a huge fan of smoke rounds, but curious to see if they're going to be able to get some garrison up. They do need support players to drop some boxes. As it looks like they've spotted. Oh. Absolute filth comes from this tank. Nice work. Yeah, they knew that airhead's there, but they don't know where. They tried to P-strike it. We're unlucky. But this armor, absolutely devastating. We see 2 flares go out for MERC. Another flare in the distance. 3 flares in the air. As MERC is just absolutely surrounding these guys. This is pretty killer, but what do we see here? We see 3 guys taking this bridge for free. Burning some OPs. We're going to tune right back. I'm just curious what's happening over here. Just a few guys, no worries. We'll tune right back into the heat of it. Cap's starting to go the way. This tank might be in trouble as it appears to be solo. Oh, they got the kill on Dagger. Satchel going down. Not sure if they were able to get that. Doesn't look like it. Satchel does go out. But I'm not sure if Bummer knows. Bummer might get traded here as this tank is about to blow. Woo! Down goes the tank. Once again, we're seeing hella flares. Supplies going down. You know, MERC's got, or not MERC, sorry. Lucky Strike's Marauders have quite the coverage as they're trying to get a garrison out wide and they're kind of pinching them from all sides. I'll zoom out and give you a little bit of an example of what I'm talking about here. As we zoom out, we see on the left, right out of render, we see recon, a few AT. Actually, both recon, my apologies. And then on the left, we still see a bunch of infantry coming from this airhead that was live, but now is just up to outposts. Without a real tank, you're just left with... I take that back. I take that back. There appears to be 1, 2 tanks. Both double crewed, right? Triple crewed. I see Terry complaining once again about stats. I don't know the stats page. I have it pulled up. It's what I'm using for my overlay. Couldn't tell you what the URL is as it's blocked off right now. But yeah, I can get that to you after the match or as soon as possible. We're on a 30-minute delay, so I'm a little SOL. Yeah. Curious to see what happens. We are? Yeah, I don't even know what server. Mikey's Marauders US Event East 2. You are correct, yeah. Oh, AT barely missing this tank. These guys do have to be careful. This armor losing one of its crew members. But man, MERC has 2 heavies. That's pretty ridiculous. Rupert's, oh, gets taken out by his own artillery. So unlucky. Cap's starting to go the way of Marauders as they're pushing across this bridge, pushing down low. AT from down below, silly goose. Admiral firing a rocket from behind these tanks. We'll zoom out a little bit as this bridge map. It's really easy to get tunnel vision. We do have MERC behind LSM on this bridge. But LSM crowding around as almost every single person was just deleted right there. That was tough to see. And down goes the Tiger. Interestingly, the explosion comes from below. And just like that, man, MERC able to sniff almost everything out. Looks like LSM hurting a little bit for fuel as they were rocking 540 fuel with no heavy on the board yet. 353 manpower, 183 munitions. So, but once again, I mean, what is happening? This artillery, man. I'm gonna drag this over, check whatever stats I'm working with. Yeah. Large Mouse in the lead with 91 kills. G-Man leading in artillery kills with number 2 overall. Mark II broke, I believe that's the other artillery, with 75. And Owens, who is probably in one of those tanks, if I can remember correctly, is number 4 in kills. This artillery is just nuts. I mean, this is what both teams kind of get as repercussions for choosing this map, but it is brutal. We see Cash Cow rocking this MG, fighting with some name I don't know. They trade some shots. Smoke. Who might be able to get the flank. Able to get Lone Wolf. Looks like he took out that OP as well. Able to get Comrade Max. Wow. Absolute shift W warrior. Looking at the map here, I'll move my mic a little bit closer. Once again, LSM around the point, but MERC, huge presence on the point. I mean, they have been living primarily rent-free underneath the point. You got Cash Cow rocking that MG. Lots of MGs for MERC, not too many MGs for LSM. But MERC kind of owns this bridge. Curious to see Action, Wicked Eye, and I believe Vega is off in the distance. Correct. Place the garrison. Mark goes out. Let's see if they have supplies. Enemy garrison. No supplies. No dice. Oh. Roost are able to pick up C-32. But Owens almost returning the shot. Missing a little bit. As artillery is landing right on top of my camera. I very badly want to see a P-strike on these guys. Curious to see what their fuel is. As what is going on over here? Is that a tank I heard? Oh my god, what is happening with my camera? It is indeed. This should be British recon tank, I believe. That is hauling ass. Border spears better get out of the way. I am shocked. I was able to get all the way around. We're going to see as it tries to maneuvers itself across this bridge. Man, I don't know. It's going to be dicey for LSM. They got to get a little creative here. Oh, they got stuck a little bit. No worries. Tank marks do go out. It is known. As you see, Qnix once again dropping down, doing the bandage strat. Gets lit up by a lip spree. We'll zoom out of our map right now. As we do see, you know, you're in the hard cap on this bridge. That is impressive you can be that far back. Oh. Where did that come from? Oh, it's an AT gun. Silly goose. Putting in the work. Taxi seems to be spotting him out. As we have a bombing run coming in. Mark's starting to cap. One of the tanks does go down. This could be some much needed ground. But artillery menaces. Just tapping out a little bit. Back in the fight. 41 minutes left. Let's go. Whack. Can he get a second one? Barely missing it. Mark doing what's best, getting people into this hard cap. But Contessa's going out. Airhead. Ballsy, I like it. It might be a little wide. If it is wide, they could be in trouble. It is. Oh, this armor. Uh-oh. Boys, you can throw a grenade on it. That works too. No deaths on this airhead, but MERC's spreading out a little bit more. You know, I think this is one of the best positions I've seen them in terms of this middle cap coverage. I like the spread. We might even be a little dicey and switch sides just to see what we're working with. As we'll look at the garrison layout, you know, looks like LSM has a really good layout for all these garrisons. But they're just a little clouded, you know. Shift Wing through this bridge, kind of hoping for it to work out. Let's take a look at chat. Everything seems to be going pretty well, As, man, once again, so many people crowded up. It almost makes me wish that there was the 3-gun artillery meta. I think both of these teams, while it would suck, you do have other options to get more creative, and thus would force some creativity. So some things to think about. Not sure if we've seen a precision strike, as we know how bad they are, but... As Roop is just on an absolute killing spree right now. We see a satchel go off. Interesting. That was probably Axis satchel, I would assume, since it took out that supplies. Cap going out as a Magellan infantry coming through. Large mouse gets one. Oh, gets taken down by Bummer. Beautiful work with the MG, although we have... What is happening here? As we have 3 tanks. All pushing in. I mean, this is... Velvet Hammer might have gotten a satchel off. Oh, he did. That's huge. Oh my god. What are we about to see here? "37 minutes left, and this is going to just wipe so many people, this satchel. Although they're getting a bit separated now. Does he know he's satcheled? And down he goes. I mean, there are so many tanks on the field. It's hard to believe that this is a 35. Once again, we're just seeing so much bridge conflict. We see some vehicle blow up in the distance. Not sure whose that was. Man, that armor is crazy. You got to give it to both teams. You know, I think they've really shift W'd very well on this bridge. Live, die, repeat. Live, die, repeat. Or spawn, die. I mean, for both teams, it's really just it may look like it's Lucky Strikes doing a lot of spawn, dying, repeat, but MERC has really held it together, as it is brutal to hold down bridge when you have so much artillery. I mean, you already have 3 people breaking 100 kills. As we look at it right now, we have Large Mouse with 104, 2 Broke on artillery with 108, G-Man on artillery with 101, and Owen, who I believe isn't a tank, unless he's just some man who came out of nowhere. Oh, we hear a P-Strike. What? Best mechanic in the game, guys. Best mechanic. Let's try to figure out who Owens is. Owens 632. 118. Not in this tank. Not in that tank. Ah. We saw him earlier. This recon guy. Never heard of him. Pretty good. Making a name for himself tonight, I'll tell you that. These guys are killer. Alright. We've neglected Ruin. Let's take a look at Ruin. Ruin, we got Grim Job and Boof pushing the point. Oh, Grim gets taken down by Drake Savage. Boof. Playing a little bit slow. Sees Rooster, I believe. Whoa. Absolutely clocks him. Oh, as he gets taken out by Sir Bell. Grim Job once again. Grim knows where Sir Bell is. Oh, take that back. Maybe not. Ooh, Sir Bell gets taken down once again by Boof. Boof. Absolute menace on that. Not able to pick up Drake Sabich. This is a very quiet fight over here. Whereas we go back to the real fight and we show people what they want. Let's do it. Let's do it. We just get action after action. I mean, their fuel situation is nuts. They have they've had 2 or 3 tanks at a time. They have a half track. It's really impressive what MERC has been able to accomplish with their armor. Dare I say that their armor is the MVP. I think they're absolutely the MVP. I know we see Owens and Largemouth, who I believe are, yeah, they're both running Recon, both running Rampant. I mean, it shows how many kills you can get, you know. Both guys doing absolute wonders. As we look at Largemouth right now, he gets spotted by Bummer, but does he know? As Bummer seeking revenge for seeing him earlier and not being able to kill him. I believe Garrison right underneath. 30 minutes left, you know. Let's not make any false claims, but I think MERC has this in the bag. Overall, pretty good match. Stronghold by them. There's been no retake since. We get a little quiet, little nice cinematic action. As another AT gun goes up. Should be able to get this heavy if he's able to complete it. Man, MERC has this bridge. MERC killing it. Oh boy. Oh boy. As we go over to Brick Factory, this is a very wide played map. I think MERC is trying that thing again where they take this recon wide, probably trying to get this back up on the bridge from behind LSM and just absolutely weed them out. He is called out. I believe Lone Wolf might be tracking him. As it appears he is. Yep. Silly. Chasing after him. Rupert, Skater, Absolute. Making her way across, but Lexi Superior hunting him down. I don't know if Lexi knows. Coming up on, as we said, 30 minutes to go. It's been about 2 minutes since we last talked about it. I think let's talk keys to winning, right? MERC needs to hold down this bridge, doing an excellent job of doing so far. Their armor's been really good. They have to be sure not to drag that armor too close. So we're hearing something fly overhead. They have to make sure that they're not spacing out their armor, playing a little bit smart. When it comes to LSM, they have to stack their heavies. Their heavies have been a little non-existent. They've been, I mean, weak side for sure, as MERC has been taking them out. But they have to stack those tanks and wait for a good infantry push. And infantry basically has to swarm the point or just find some way in, whether it be that bridge or something else. But I mean, we've seen all match MERC really hold control over this bridge. This armor and artillery. Woo! We got Melkor coming up. Uh-oh. He's got to be quick. Twig takes a bullet. Does Rupert's know that there's a satchel? Rupert's picks one up. Gets traded. Nice work from Pawpaw, but we do have a satchel. Jake trying to defuse it. Just takes one in the face. Unlucky guy. I've been there, man. It's not fun. Good test goes out, but I think that'll be short-lived as we have this tank right here. It's just been absolute kicking ass. Apollo 9 out there. Crazy. Oh, oh. Man, Cash Cow. Not letting that shit happen. So it almost looks like he teabagged it. Just down to 25 minutes. $25 minutes. So we'll zoom in here. I'm a little curious what's happening with Large Mouse. Large Mouse picks up one. Working with Slick. And we got a loud car outside. Sorry if that's picking up on my microphone. I'd be curious to see this tank right here push up a little bit more. I think they have the grounds to do so. Still be in the hard cap. We're sitting right around here. They have the ability to push up a little bit. Been a brutal fight on this bridge. So let's go back a little bit to the quiet life. I like this. Very becoming of nighttime combat is the instant quietness and just the eeriness on the field. People playing for picks, but not really too many people complaining or having a bad time is a better way to put that. But yeah, we got Tranquillo on recon. We got Mayo Samurai with his pretty impressive AT gun work. I think those are outside of MERC's AT guns, which haven't been active but have been up almost this entire match. It's really impressive the amount of AT guns for Division 3. I think they're both playing excellent work. You know, we saw one LSM AT gun in Delta 4, one in Gulf 4. Both been destroyed, and we've seen quite a few on the point as well as back over here on top of the bridge. And I believe even farther back, although now looks like we have 3 tanks, one even going back to refuel, and even, is that one in HQ? Yeah, dude, their fuel situation is sorted. Gator fighting for his life in the far back. As he goes down by Jake, Lex, and Vega. Getting my stretch on before this thing gets pretty chaotic in the last 20 minutes. I gotta say, I'm pretty pumped. I want to see LSM charge in, but I also want to see what MERC can do with all these tanks. At this point, I mean, you got a half track and 4 heavy tanks available. At that point, you just make yourself a little fort and have a good night's sleep on this hard cap. Whether this is infantry allowing this to happen or tanks, no armor should be left alive this long. Lord Ross playing a dangerous game of cat and mouse against this tank. As he eats one. 4th point does get contested for a little bit. Oh. 3 tanks for LSM. 3 tanks. Okay. Okay, we got a game on our hands. 3 tanks for LSM, 3 tanks for MERC with 1 extra and the half track, as well as even more supplies. Man, these teams, I mean, they both have so much resources. It's impressive. Bombing run. I like this angle too. I think this is a pretty good angle. I think I would have liked to see a little bit east to west, but overall, I mean, you're looking at 2, 4, 6, 8 people potentially. None. 1, 2. Two people. That's tough. Those bombing runs are pretty hard to angle. But we do see a lot of smoke come out. And now there's only 1 heavy. What am I missing where LSM is getting demolished? Is it Torino just spinning up the bots and just filming him? Oh, I take that back. We're seeing exactly why right here. See, they just got rid of their cover. They gotta reverse. Damn. You hate to see it. This tank is just locking everything down. Gold Star, Turkleton, Solar wins. Yeah, great work. I mean, I think realistically, that's game right there. You take a look at that. We still have 18 minutes, so I could be biting my words. But you take a look at that. I mean, man, that many tanks. 3 tanks, 2 on bridge, 1 on, I guess, far east, and even extras to pull up. Dangerous situation to be in if you're LSM. Artillery, brutal. Tabbing back. Let's take a look at the top killers. I'm curious myself. Two Broke, who is... He's artillery, 154, large mass 147. Who's sniping? G-Man, artillery 124. Owens sniping as well, 97. That is nuts. Absolutely killer. Let's see. Man, I really badly want to look at the stats as well. like this tank play. Getting nice and ballsy. We'll play with highlights off for a little bit. What is it? There we go. As Owen's pre-aiming that corner with a pistol. Trying to figure out how to get up the stairs. He gets taken down by President Sancho. Nice work. Taxi, tank commander. Oh, goes down. I like the big balls on that. I think this tank is trying to cap fourth. That's probably the heavy that we saw go across. Oh, I'm playing without highlights. I'm so blind. There he is. You see tank marks get called out. This could spell trouble for LSM. I mean, 3-2, 2-3. That loss is going to be fine, but a 4-1 could spell a little bit of pain. Mayo coming out as AT. Oh. Poor Mayo. Poor Mayo. Woo. That tank was able to generate a lot of pressure. I mean, you see a whole squad of people, really two squads or 1 7-man squad, generate so much pressure on that fourth point. It's starting to fall with just under 13 minutes left. I mean, I'm really curious to see what's happening over here at the mid. It sounds like we even have a Lux on the hard cap. Here he is. Oh man, what an unlucky spawn. Or lucky in the favor of MERC. As Papa spawns right behind him. LSM clinging to this bridge as they are surrounded. And MERC with surprisingly only 3 people on the hard cap are able to, I mean, by proxy, I don't know. What do I know? All right, sitting up here. Here come the reinforcements from MERC, but it looks like Marauders and Lucky Strikes are not willing to take a 4-1 or a 1-4 loss. Just not having it. Grim job. Absolutely laying down the head. So we see another tank. Uh-oh. I mean, they have the fuel to burn. They can just kind of pump tanks wherever and at this point. armor marks do get called out. This tank might be in trouble as not much infantry support. One comes in. This tank thinks he's an AT. Rightfully so. Disregards as he gets side penned by Wax Skellington. Charging into the point. Beautiful deflect. Uh-oh. And down goes the heavy. Few people left. Transport truck. Man, this armor for MERC about to give LSM quite the beating. Yes, what do I hear? Oh, I missed it. It was over here. What does that do in the way of garrisons? Seems to take down their garrisons. They do have supplies up top. People spawning off. All their garrisons have been primarily wiped out, which is pretty impressive. Just had some water. Guys, don't forget to hydrate as well. Rupert saying a big fuck you to that one transport truck. As things have gone quiet, you know, I think LSM not really able to do much as we come across. And look at MERC one last time. But MERC has a great footing on this mid cap. I mean, they took the 3-2 initially and just said, we're not going to give it up. And they've done an excellent job of executing that. I think when we come to team play and just how we look at things, their armor, arguably their best, coming in with, who is that? Not Cosmos. Owens, my apologies, Owens. Owens on Recon, doing an excellent job as well, and artillery for both teams, really. And then I think for Lucky Strikes and Marauders, their tanks have been hurting quite a bit. Did not seem to be expecting those snipes that came from the left side of the bridge over here by Gold Star earlier in the day. Also, MERC had a lot more MGs. But Marauders, their artillery and quite a few people have been valiantly pushing this bridge for almost the whole game. You have Qnix, I believe it was, Wax Skellington. We've seen them both on the bridge. We've seen Qnix jump off the bridge right in the middle, survive at bandage and push in, which I think that was absolutely hilarious. We've seen a lot of good plays from a lot of interesting players that I will now keep in mind as artillery wiping down that supplies as it comes in. Curious to see. We got one heavy pushing far right. Okay. MERC on the hard cap still. A little bit from everywhere. Spears playing the defense. As this appears to be their final push, as everybody storms. We're going to mute up and we're just going to We're going to cast a little bit quiet as we get some cinematics. Alright, so this is going to be about 30 minutes too late, but if you look at the top of your screen, whoever has more chevrons is winning, so MERC is winning. Just under 4 minutes. This tank still lives. They have an engineer and one of the tankers repairing his taxi. Yes, taxi. Staying alive. Cash cow on MG. Fox up in the rafters. You see Lucky Strikes. Marauders. Fighting. As they get obliterated. Big bombing run. Not able to pick up that many people. Looks like Lone Star or Gold Star. My apologies. Still learning these names. Gold Star in the tank over here. Back in his famous position. And here he comes, Maverick. Just out of the smoke. See it, but what do we see? What do we see over here? What do we see land? Oh. What is happening? Owen says, let them come. I have 30 seconds. What? Unless that must be a MERC airhead. For safekeeping, they want to win the game. I'm just smoking that pack. We see lots of people, lots of tanks, 2 tanks in the hard cap, everybody in the hard cap. As Lucky Strikes Marauders try and push in. This is a bloodbath. I'd be curious to talk to both teams after and see how much they really enjoy playing this map and if they think it is comp viable, because bridge maps just seem like a bloodbath and brutal for both teams. I know MERC had the advantage this whole map, but man, did artillery and recon just get to free farm this entire map. As that'll do it. I mean, you look at the grand scheme of things, LSM not able to do anything. There's no cap pressure, and obviously 2 minutes have already passed. So the game is effectively over. It'll be a MERC victory, 3-2 victory. We hear the last 30 seconds start to count down now. Overall, they played amazing. Lucky Strikes also had a valiant effort. At the end of the day, I think the Armor won them the game. They had some very good positions and were able to pick Lucky Strikes off before they were able to push in. So MERC always had the pressure and thus leading to the victory ultimately. Overall, great work to both teams. This is, I believe, the second match of APL, if not the third. I might have missed the second match. Yeah, huge shout out to Lucky Strikes Marauders. We'll go through this. I believe I want to... Where is this Mayo guy? Ooh, Mayo. Well, I can't see him, but Silly Goose gets it. Overall, man, some people, you know, Solarwind put in a 1400 gold star with a 1700 combat effectiveness. Amazing work, guys. Huge shout out. Week 2, so both teams are still eligible for the semis. We could be seeing a rematch in the future, you know. Who knows? But yeah, thanks for having me. I'm going to wrap things up right now just because it's been a long night, been a long weekend. Curious to see what happens. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Huge shout out to MERC for the victory. I ate my words. I said you guys would get 5-0'd on Trio, but you showed me wrong. You did well. You played excellent. Same with Lucky Strikes. You guys did well. The Armor was a bit lacking, but otherwise, you know what? Great game. Great 3-2 split. Couldn't ask for anything more. Thanks for having me on as a caster, and shout out to APL for being the cool tourney that it is. All right, guys. Have a good night.